Now, let's take a deep dive into the US market. We will start by one of the largest sector in the S&P 500. Of course, today, if you look at the Microsoft counter under the software infrastructure technology or counter, Microsoft was down by 1.96% as of last night, following by other peers such as Oracle, also down by 1.02%, and also Adobe 0.84%, and other peers under the software infrastructure. If you look at Adobe, down by 0.84% as of last night. And of course, this is fueled by Adobe news, which is Adobe is in the early stages of allowing third-party generative artificial intelligence AI tools such as the OpenAI's Sora and also others inside its widely used video editing software, the US software maker said on Monday. And also Adobe's Premiere Pro app is widely used by the television and film industries. The San Jose, California company is planning this year to add AI-based features to the software, such as the ability to fill in parts of a scene with AI-generated objects or remove distractions from a scene without any tedious manual work from the video editor. Both those features will rely on Firefly, an AI model that Adobe has already deployed in its Photoshop software for editing still images. And amid competition from the OpenAI, Midjourney, and other startups, Adobe had sought to set itself apart from training its Firefly system data. It has full rights to and offering indemnity to users against copyright claims. But Adobe has also on Monday said that it is developing a way to let its users tap third-party tools from OpenAI as well as startups Runway and Pika Labs to generate and use video within Premiere Pro. And that is about Adobe as of last night. And of course, if you look at other counters as well, under semiconductor, NVIDIA was down by 2.48% as of last night against its other peers, such as the Broadcom, also down by 2.48%. Same goes with NVIDIA, and also AMD Advanced Micro Devices is down by 1.81%. Qualcomm also down by 0.85% as of last night. And at the same time, if you look at other counters such as the consumer electronic Apple, for instance, down by 2.19% as of last night. And if you look at Apple, the news for Apple, basically Apple's smartphone shipments dropped about 10% in the first quarter of 2024, hurt by intensifying competition by Android smartphone makers aiming for the top spot. Data from research firm IDC showed on Sunday, and global smartphone shipments increased by 7.8% to 289.4 million units during January to March, with Samsung at 20.8% market share, clinching the top phone maker spot from Apple. And of course, the iPhone maker's steep sales decline comes after its strong performance in the December quarter when it overtook Samsung as the world's #1 phone maker. It's back to the second spot with 17.3% market share as Chinese brands such as the Huawei gain market share. And also Xiaomi, one of the China's top smartphone maker, occupied the third position with a market share of 14.1% during the first quarter. And also South Korea's Samsung, which launched its latest flagship smartphone lineup, Galaxy S24 series, in the beginning of the year, shipped more than 60 million phones during the period. And of course, the global sales of Galaxy S24 smartphones jumped 8% compared to last year's Galaxy S23 series during their first 3 weeks of availability. That is data provider Counterpoint previously said. And of course, in the first quarter, Apple also shipped 50.1 million iPhones, down from 55.4 million units, according to IDC itself. And of course, other counters, if you look at Google, for instance, Google was down by 1.80% as of last night. And of course, Meta down by 2.28% as of last night. Meta Platforms said on Monday it would temporarily shut down its social media platform Threads in Turkey from April 29th to comply with an interim order of the Turkish competition authorities. Also, there will be no impact on the Meta's other social media platforms such as the Facebook, Instagram, and also WhatsApp in Turkey. But the company said that the country's competition authorities imposed an interim measure on Facebook parent Meta meant to hinder data sharing between Instagram and also Threads platforms as it investigated possible abuse of the company's dominant market position. That is about some of the markets that we can look at as of this morning. Amazon was down by 1.3%, 1.35%. And if you look at some of the energy sector, which is what we discussed just now, some of the energy sectors, such as the ExxonMobil, was down by 0.57% in the light of what's happening between Iran and also Israel. At the same time, Chevron also down by 0.86% as of this morning, and other companies such as the ConocoPhillips 0.72% down. This is on S&P 500, of course, and this is what we can see as of last night for S&P 500. That is all we can wrap up for S&P 500 performance, and we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back after this with more discussion on Niaga AWANI.